Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is part 2 of paper 2 calculator paper November 2022 Edexcel Maths Foundation Tier. So in this one, we will be completing questions from 15 and further. I'll try my best completing from 15 to 26. That 26 is the last question of this paper. But if not, I'll try my best making a third part as well to make sure that all of this paper is fully completed. And in part 1 we completed it from 1 to 14. So if you haven't watched that video, I'll request you guys to please watch that one first and then move on to this paper. And if you're new to my channel, this channel is basically about us discussing all the answers and then mark schemes and everything over here. So we discuss the answers, we discuss the exam techniques, we discuss certain topics particularly that some students might need help with. So if there's anything like that, firstly, with any topics that you might find quite confusing sometimes, or is there like a particular past paper that you're really stuck on and you want me to discuss in a video, so please let me know that in the comments, and that's what I'll be looking forward to in my next videos. So that's what my channel is really about. And then sooner I'll be definitely starting on the higher paper as well, as this is a foundation Edexcel paper. So after I'm finished with the series of foundation paper, I'll be starting with the higher papers, and they will be of also Edexcel as well. And for Edexcel people who are doing Edexcel maths right now, for them it will be super useful. But again, it'll be useful for other people as well, because the exam techniques and gaining the most marks and whatever method or technique we're going to discuss here is definitely going to be useful for other maths as well, other maths boards as well, which is basically AQA, OCR, etc. So I hope you like this video, and again, if there's anything else that you want me to do better in, or you want me to improve in a certain video, please let me know in the comments, and I'll make sure that you understand as much. I'll try my best to make you understand as much as I can. But still if it's confusing and you want me to make another video where I'm maybe speaking a bit more slowly, and then probably giving you more sums to explain, or like anything like that, I'm always ready. So please let me know, and I'm always here to improve. So I hope you like this video too, guys. So in this one, we're going to start from question 15. So because I already read this question before starting this video, I realized that this is the stem and leaf diagram question. So I'm not sure if this is in the topic list of the exams for maths, and I'm not sure if this will be included in your upcoming GCSE exams. So this is something to confirm for sure. So I'll just circle this one up and not solve it for now. And we're just going to move on from the 16th question and further. So hope that is okay with you guys. But if you need to find the answer, that's completely fine. With that as well, you can always find it from Google. And if you still feel like there might be a better way for me to explain it from my side, please let me know. I'll make a video on this question, and I'll try explaining it to you guys in like a little bit of a short. So I hope you guys would like that. So please let me know if you guys would like that. So moving on to the 16th question now. Okay. Right. So in this question, the question is basically water flows through each of the pipes that fill a lake at the same rate. It takes 4 of the pipes 12 hours to fill the lake. Work out how many hours it would take for 6 pipes to fill 1/4 of the lake. Now this is quite a simple question. We've been given that we have to score 3 marks in this question. I'll just raise this one up now. But yes, we've been given 3 marks. Here, we need to score 3 marks. Okay, so in this question, basically what we can do is, firstly, they've said that it takes 4 of the pipes 12 hours to fill the lake, right? So it basically says, firstly, when we know here, they say that it takes 4 pipes 12 hours to fill the lake. So it's basically saying that each one of them takes 12 hours. So if one takes 12 hours, how many does 4 take? So you would do 4 into 12. That's your first step. So that would give you an answer of 48 hours. So we basically know that 4 of the pipes all together takes around 48 hours. I hope this part is clear. This is how you gain your 1 mark. Then after that, they say that work out how many hours would it take for 6 pipes to fill 1/4 of the lake, right? So now we already know that it takes 48 hours for 48 hours for 48 hours for all the 4 pipes, right? So how many hours would it take for 6 pipes? So basically now they've said how many it will be for 6 pipes. So what we do here is we do 48 over 6, right? So we know 6 8s are 48. So we basically can say that it's 8 hours for 6 pipes to fill the lake. So that was my alarm. So 8 hours for 6 pipes to fill the lake. Okay. That's your second mark. And now for your third mark. Now that we've got that it takes 8 hours to for 6 pipes to fill the lake. So after that what we do is, so 8 hours to fill, after that what we do is oh yeah, okay, now I get it. So here what we need to do is that because we've got 8 hours for 6 pipes, so they said 1/4. So what is 1/4? If you multiply 8 into 1 is basically 8 over 4. So what we will do is 1/4, like we basically do 8 over 4. So that would give us an answer of 2. Or we can also simply do 1/4 of 8. That's also the same thing. That'll also give you 2. So we do 8 over 4 for 8. So now we know for 1/4 full, it would take around 2 hours. And that's how we are supposed to solve this question. Please let me know if you don't understand this question clearly. I'm ready to explain it properly in another video as well. But please let me know in the comments. Okay, so this is 2 hours. Moving on to the next question. In this question, we've been given a height and a frequency. So the table shows information about the heights of 80 teenagers. This is the heights and frequency. We've been given a table, right? So work out an estimate for the mean height of the teenagers. So here what we need to do, our first ever step is to find the middle of these numbers. So because they are just 160, 170, 170, 180, 180, 190, 190, 200, we can easily find the middle. So we know between 160 and 150 is a 155, right? So we straight away can write 155. We know for 160 and 170, this is your first step ever as soon as you start doing questions like these. So in this one, when we've been given 150 and 160, we clearly know 155 comes in between. So we know 155 is there. For this one is 165, and we keep going on like that till the end. So 175, 185 and 195. Done. This will be your first mark, right? So in your next ones, this one is a 3 mark as well. So firstly, okay, so first mark wouldn't be for this one. This will be just for guessing that, okay, 155, 165, that will be no marks. The marks will be for multiplying, finding out the answer in our next steps. So as we've got this number, to find the frequency, so to find the MP into frequency, which is basically a height into frequency, that's the main part that they'll be interested in. So here what we need to do is, because we found these numbers have to be multiplied with these numbers in order to get 1 mark. So now what we do is, we do 155 into 8, which gives us 1240. Then we get 2310. You can clearly firstly also make a, make another table on it, and then you can always make a table on it and then mention this one as MP into frequency, right? So this is for different. So we've got 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5. So I don't have enough space in my table, so I'll just clearly write it as normal. But you guys, if you want to make a table, that's perfectly fine for you to make a table. If you don't want to make a table, that's completely fine as well. Because in other ways, you're still getting the answer and you're still getting like the correct answer, and in that way you'll get the mark. So when you multiply 155 by 8, you'll get an answer of 1240. For next one, you'll get 2310. For the next one, you'll get 4200. For the next one, you'll get 5550. And then for the last one, you'll get 780. I hope this part is clear. This is basically MP For the next one, you'll get 4200. For the next one, you'll get 5550. And then for the last one, you'll get 780. I hope this part is clear. This is basically MP into frequency. Okay, so for next one, because they said work out an estimate for the mean height. So what we do is, we write down. So we write down this, which is basically 1240, 2310, 4200, 5550, and 780. Right, after we've done this, we need to find the number below. So how many numbers do we really need here, right? So for this one, what we'll really do is that, let me check. So basically, okay, so I solved now. So basically what we really do now is, we add up the frequencies, right? So we basically add up 8, 14, 24, 30 and 4, which would give us an answer of 80. So that means when we need to find out the mean, we add these up, which will be over a 80. So when we do over a 80, that will give us an answer of, let me check again. If it, definitely it's possible for you guys to get your answer more quicker, because right now I have a calculator now. So I'll just check on my calculator as well as we're solving it together. So for this one, you will get the answer of around, I would say, you will get the answer of 176. Sorry, that took a bit of time. So that will get you an answer of 176 centimeters. Okay. So the answer is 176. So I hope this question is clear to you guys. It took a bit of time because the thing kept writing up wrong numbers. So like it was getting 5570, something like that. So I had to write the whole thing again. So I wrote 1240, 2310, 4200, 5550 and then 780. And obviously one of the steps was to add these frequencies. So that was another step as well that we skipped. So super important. First what we do is find the middle number and find the frequency. So I was a bit late in doing that. So that's why it took me a little bit of time to adding up the frequencies and then finding out the, so our frequency, when we add up, we get an answer of 80. And then when we add these up and then divided by 80, that gave us an answer of 176 centimeter. So I hope this one is clear to you guys. Please let me know if this is not clear. We'll make another video on it. Okay. So moving on to the next question. Okay. The next question is now shown us a scatter graph. So it says the scatter graph shows information about the amount of rainfall in millimeters, the number of hours of sunshine for each 10 English towns on the same day. So we've been given on the y-axis, we've been given the number of hours of sunshine from 0 to 12. And then we've been given the amount of rainfall on the x-axis from 0 to 8. Now they say one of the points is an outlier. Write down the coordinates of that point. So what does an outlier mean? So outlier basically means it is similar to what you call an anomalous result. So here outlier basically means anomalous, which is in a way the most simplest term, is most different to the others in the results. So these are quite like, okay, they have a little bit of a pattern we can see here, but in some places we can clearly see that one point which is put somewhere is not matching with anyone, and if we try to match it up, it'll be a wrong answer. So that is known as, in a way, an anomalous result or an outlier. So in mathematics, it is a frequently like less chance that it'll say like an anomalous result. They would say an anomalous result. There have been a lot of questions saying anomalous, but sometimes they say outlier, which is basically like very different to the others. right? So they say one of the points is an outlier, so we find an outlier here. We can clearly see, because like this one and this one is the finalist, so we know that this one kind of makes a pattern in a way. So like if we try to join this up, it's still making a pattern in a way. Like joining a few of these points, it'll make a straight line for sure. Or like, yes, it'll make a straight line for sure. And then this one, when we look at the next one, this one does not make points at all. Because if we try to match them up with others, there's a possibility it might change into a curved line, and that's not what we want here. Here we want a clear straight line. So here they said one of the points is an outlier. We found the outlier. It's this one. So write down the coordinates of this point. So we simply know to write the coordinates, we need to first write the x-axis first and then the y-axis. So basically what it means is, we first look, so suppose this is the point, right? This is the point. So we look at the x-axis. Where is it in the x-axis? We clearly know it's pointing towards a 2. So we know it's a 2. But now when we have to check on which point it really is on the y-axis, it's going straight towards here. Sorry about my slanty line. So it is going straight towards here. So we know it's 0, 1, 2. And in the middle, what would it be then? It'll be a 1, right? So we clearly write it's a 1. And we clearly know it's a 1 because 0 and 2, and in the middle it's 1. So we know that on the y-axis it's a 1. So whenever you write answer, the answer should always be x, comma, y. It can, most probably, if it's a very strict marking, there is a chance you might get an answer wrong if you straight away write y and x, because that's a wrong form of writing the answer when you're writing coordinates. It's always the rule to write your answer in x, comma, y and in brackets. So 2 and 1 will be your coordinates. And that's your answer, and that's how you will gain your 1 mark. Moving on to the next question. Okay. Our next question is, ignoring the outlier, describe the relationship between the amount of rainfall and the number of hours of sunshine. So, okay. So when we see here, if we go back, so ignoring the outlier, let's ignore the outlier here. Describe the relationship between the amount of rainfall and the number of hours of rain shine. So we need to tell them what is happening here. Like what happens when, like if this increases, that increases, what happens like that. So we need to explain it in that way. Ignoring the outlier, what do we see here? So here we can clearly state that as the rainfall increases, the sunshine decreases. As you can see here, when the rainfall is increasing 2, 4, 6, 8, we can clearly see it's going down. The cross is going down. So if we draw a line here, basically if we draw a line somewhere joining few points to show this correlation, so we can clearly draw a line over here. So tilting an angle. Wait, what about my pen? Wait. So we can clearly draw, okay, I don't know why it's not tilting. Okay, so we can clearly draw a line from here to here in a way. To just draw like a little bit of a correlation that what is really happening. So we start from here and we draw a correlation down here. So by drawing a correlation and removing this now, it won't get fully removed though, but I'll try my best. Okay, now it's done. So now we can clearly see by this correlation, that as rainfall increases, the number of hours of sunshine decreases. So that will be your relationship between the amount of rainfall and the number of hours of sunshine. Sometimes my scale doesn't work. Wait. So in here, we clearly write as rainfall amount of rainfall. So as amount of rainfall increases the sunshine, the number of hours of, I wrote it in a short form, please write a full version, which is hours of sunshine decreases, and that will be your another mark. Moving on to the next question, it says that on the same day in another English town there were 7 hours of rainshine. Using the scatter graph, estimate the amount of rainfall in this town on this day. So when we go back, so this is very similar to always looking back at your graph. So when we go back to the scatter graph, so they clearly said again, let's read. On the same day, another English town was 7 hours of sunshine. Okay, so how many, if there was 7 hours of sunshine, then how many amount of rainfall was there? So we clearly know if there was like a 4, not 4, it was 7 hours, right? Oops. It's fine, but we know the line already. This will be a little bit wiggly though, but we know what we're meaning to say here. The correlation, it's a negative correlation here. And we showed this negative correlation to prove the amount of rainfall and number of hours of sunshine's relationship, because that's the question they asked us earlier. Okay. So in this one, so on the same day the English town was around 7 hours of sunshine. Using the scatter graph, estimate the amount of rainfall down on this day. So we clearly know, as we can see, 7 hours is a bit less, so it's probably over here. So we can clearly see that the amount of rainfall would be around, let's say it's between 3 or 4, as we can see. So this is the 3, we clearly can see that it's between a 3 and 4. So we can guess that, you know what, let's take a value. Suppose, for example, I'll take a value, for example, let's say 3.5 or 3.2, anything that you write, because it's between 3.2, because it's between 3 and 4. So I'll write a value of, for example, 3.2, but even if you write something like 3.3, 3.4, 3.5 or 3.9, that will also be a correct answer for considering that it's between a 3 and 4. And that will be your second mark, because you looked at the graph, and when you make those little points there, okay, that is connected to that in your scatter graph, that will be 1 mark, and then writing your answer is the second mark. And that's how you'll gain 4 full marks for this question. Moving on to the next one. I don't know why, but this thing keeps glitching on, like I can't write sometimes, or like the scale isn't working some or the other way. So I hope that's okay with you guys. Sorry about that, it's taking a bit of time. So question 19 now. Okay, so question 19, they say that the front elevation and the plan of a solid are shown on the grid. On the grid, draw the side elevation of the solid from the direction of the arrow. So direction of the arrow is this shape. They're looking at this. Now what does it clearly mean? So when they look at it from here, basically looking at it from here, this is the side they're looking at. What do they see? They basically see, what do they basically see now? So when we already have the plan, we have to draw the side elevation. So they basically mean by, what do they mean by? So they're basically asking, what can you see from the side? So what we really see from the side is this pattern. So this will be your answer for this one. So you'll basically do 3 boxes here, 2 boxes down, 2 boxes down, line cross, 2 boxes down, 2 boxes down, line close, 1 box down, 1 box down, close. And that will be your answer. If you want me to make a separate video on elevations topic, please let me know. I'll try making a full video on elevations, because I know this is one of the tough topics in finding out the plan, the side elevation and the front elevation. So please let me know, and we'll make sure that we practice these questions properly, so that in these ones we are pretty confident, and that's how you'll earn a full of 2 marks. Okay, moving on to the next question. So the next question is, here are the first five terms of an arithmetic sequence. So we've been given the first five terms of an arithmetic sequence. So 7, 13, 19, 25 and 31. And here what we need to do, we need to find an expression in terms of n for the nth term of this sequence. Right, so now what we need to do is we need to find an nth term. So this topic is about sequence, so we clearly know that we need to find the difference between from 7 to 13, from 13 to 19, 25 and 31. That's the very first thing to do. So what's the first thing that you need to do is you need to find the difference between these. So when we go from 7 to 13, we can clearly see that there is a difference of plus 6. So if we check in others, 13 to 19, 25, 31, we can clearly see a plus 6 all the way. So we write that. And then what we need to do is that if we go back, it gives us an answer of 1. So when we go back, it's the opposite. If it's plus 6 right now, and if we go back, it's the opposite. It's minus 6. So 7 minus 6 is what? 1. So our nth term would be 6n plus 1. Right? That's it. That's your term. And that will be your answer. But it will be better for you if you try writing the whole sequence here, the whole set of numbers here, and then doing the difference like plus 6, plus 6, plus 6. And then so that we clearly know now that this will be your sequence. That this will be your nth term. So next question is, the nth term of a different sequence is 8 minus 6n is minus 58 a term of this sequence. So what are they really saying now? They're saying that the nth term has a different sequence. What if the nth term has a different sequence of 8 minus 6n? So let's write that down first. And this is 58 a term of this sequence. So what we need to really do is, whenever you get questions like these, it's super important to firstly write this. And then writing is equals to minus 58. So in this way, when we find n is basically the number. And in that way, we can find that is this number part of the sequence or not. So let's find it, because if and the answer should be in a whole number. The answer shouldn't be in 0.5 or something, because in a sequence, because the sequence is a positive number and a whole number, not positive but like a whole number sequence, there won't be a chance of getting a 0.5 sequence ever. So it's important to get an answer in a whole number to make sure we know that minus 58 is part of the sequence. So we do this, then we do 8 is equals to minus 58 plus 6n. We already know this method. When it goes to the other side of the equals to sign, the sign changes. So it was minus, now it's plus. In the next one, we get 66 is equals to 6n. And that gives us an answer of 11. So we know that yes, it will be your 11th. And by number, this basically means that if we get an answer of a whole number, firstly that means that this is part of the sequence, and we also know that which term will it be. So it will be the 11th term of the sequence, and that's how you will earn a full of 4 marks. I hope this question is clear to you guys. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, so now in this one, we've been given a question that the diagram shows a plan of Jason's garden. A, B, C, O and D, E, F, O are rectangles, as you can see. So A, B, C, O, A, B, okay, wait. So A, B, C, O is a rectangle. D, E, F, O is a rectangle. It's not something for me to mark, but then we know C, D, O is a right angle, triangle, and AFO is a circle with the center O and angle AOF is equals to 90 degrees. So here we don't need to really show, as we can see the different shapes. So we can clearly see these. So that's clear with us. Now the question is, Jason is going to cover his garden with a grass seed. Each bag of grass seed covers 14 meters square of garden. Each bag of grass seed costs £10 and 95 pence. Work out how much it will cost Jason to buy all of the bags of grass seed he needs. So what do we do here? We need to use certain types of formulas here. That's for sure, right? So what do we really need to do here? We know we've got right angles over here. That's perfectly marked. So now we just need to solve. So first, what do? We find these numbers. So here we know here, here, and here. So firstly, when we need to find, let's say, the area, we basically know that the area for the square would be basically 9 into 7. Oh, sorry, the rectangle. Sorry about that. The rectangle. So that would give us an answer of 63. So we know the area of the rectangle is 63. For this one, we basically know the area is a 77 because this is a rectangle as well. So 7 into 11 is 77. That will be your area for that one. And for this one, we basically know if this is 11, then this is 11 as well. And in that way, we will find from the formula half into 11 into 9, which will basically give us an answer of 49.5. That will be your area for this one. And now because we've got areas for all of these, not for all of these, we got areas for this one, and this one. So now when we find area for this one, that will give us an answer of pi 7 squared, right? So when we do pi 7 squared over 4, that gives us an answer of 49 pi over 4. So because we don't need to solve this further, this is when we'll solve in the end. That's when we'll get the answer. So firstly, please don't find it already because it might result to getting an answer in decimals, and sometimes in decimal, sometimes in a reoccurring number. So please do not write the answer right now for 49 pi over 4. Please wait till the end to get a accurate answer on your calculator because you already have a calculator for this one. So there is no need to stress to already find the answer and all of that. So we find area for all of these. So we basically know, firstly what we do is find the total area. So what we basically do is we write the total area, which is 49 over 4 pi, 49 pi over 4 plus 77 plus 63 plus 49.5. Then in the next one, we get an answer of 224.98 meters square. Then what we do is, because they've said that each bag of grass seed covers 14 meters of the garden, so what we say, how much bags do we really need? So now we need to find the total cost that Jason has to buy all of the grass in each bag. So firstly, we need to find the bags. How do we find the bag? Because we found the total area of all of this. So we find 14 meters. So how much bag? So like how many bag it is? So like so basically what we do is, for one bag we need to find already. So what we do is we do 2. So we do, okay, wait. Okay, so we do 224.98 over 14, right? Which gives us an answer of 16.28. So that basically says that by this one, not for one, but for how many bags? Because it's 16.8, let's say around 17 bags, right? Which clearly means here that already we found the area for this one, and now they said that each bag of grass covers 14 meters. So if one covers around 14 meters, how much does 22.98 covers? So we basically divide, right? 224.98, we've been given areas. So 224.98 divided by 14, which gives us 16.28, which is basically equal to around 17 bags. After this one, what we do is, they said that each bag of grass seed costs 10.95. So when they said so we already know the bags now. So they said that how many grass seed does he needs? For grass seed that he needs, so we know he needs 17 bags. So how much will it cost? So for one it costs 10.95. How much will it cost for 17? 17 into 10.95, which would give us an answer of 81 186.15. So 186 pounds and 15 pence, and that will be your answer. And that's how you will gain a total of 5 marks. One more thing, guys, whenever you're solving these questions, these last few questions will be the ones which will matter the most. This one will be the ones not matter the most, but like these one will be the ones that will be worth 5 marks, 6 mark, to test you that if you're also capable for the higher paper as well. The higher paper definitely will contain a few questions in the middle or the other with 5 markers or 6 markers, and definitely in the end always, but they will always be similar for the foundation paper and the higher paper. The last few questions will be very, very similar to test your knowledge on how much can you understand these tricky questions. So let's say because this question has around 26, I'm pretty sure the next few questions will also be quite similar, and a few of them will be around 5 markers or 4 markers, and most probably 3 markers. So let's move on to the next question. Okay, so as we can see, we've got a 2 marker question and 3 marker question here. Now this also needs proper solving, but again here we need to make sure that we are clear of a particular topic, right? That what topic are we using? So because there is a triangle here, the first question that really come to mind, because we've covered topics like in our school and otherwise and in your schools as well, if you've covered topics like, let's say, trigonometry and Pythagoras, you'd definitely be a little bit like, okay, where do we need to start from here? But the first thing is read the question. So when we read the question, it clearly says that work out the value of x, give your answer correct to 3 significant figures. Here we've been given 14.5, x and 53 degrees. Whenever we know there's a degree, what we need to do here is basically do trigonometry. So first we mark what points are these. We know the longer side is this one, so we know it's a hypotenuse. This one is between 2 angles, so it's adjacent. And now they're clearly saying work out the value of x. So this is all we need. We don't need the opposite, but this will be the opposite. So now when we solve, we need to find what do we need to use. So the method here that we need to use is SOHCAHTOA. This is the method that you can always use. And there's also some there are other methods as well that you can use that maybe I mentioned in your own school by your teachers or tutors that you can use that you find easier. That's completely fine. So SOHCAHTOA here. So because we see that, okay, we've got the hypotenuse and we've got the adjacent, we clearly know here we need to do the method of cos. So we basically write cos. In the brackets we write 53 is equals to x over 14.5. Because we know A is adjacent, we've got x, and h is 14.5. So x over 14.5. And that will give you an answer of, so like basically x, then x is equals to 14.5 multiplied by cos 53. That will give you an answer of x is equals to 8.72631. But you don't have to write that long. The answer we can write is simply 8.73. And that's how you gain your 2 marks. Okay, now in the next question is Ella invests 7,000 for 2 years in an account paying compound interest. In the first year, the rate of interest is 3%. In the second year, the rate of interest is 1.5%. Work out the value of Ella's investment at the end of 2 years. So for this one, what do we really do? We basically, there's only one step to it. There isn't a lot of steps to it. What we simply do is we multiply this by, these by each other. So we basically, what we do is 7,000 into 1.03 into 1.105. How did we get these answers? That will be your first 2 marks. Because obviously it's a bit shocking to say that, okay, a 3-mark question is basically like, we multiply this by this, we multiply all of this, and we get a total of 3 marks. That's wrong. It's 3 marks for a reason. So super important to make you guys understand this question. So for this one, we basically do 7,000 into 1.03 into 1.015. That gives us an answer of 71 7318.15, and that will be your answer. Moving on to the next one, 3 more questions. Right. So now it says here is a graph of y is equals to x squared minus 6x plus 4. Right. So we've been given a graph question now. So now we clearly look at the graph and we'll turn to the next page to answer the questions now, because there's no specific question on here. Okay, so let's move on. Now they say that write down y-intercept of the graph of y is equals to x squared minus 6x plus 4. So we know the y-intercept for this one would be clearly 4. So we write the answer 4, that's your 1 mark. Write down the coordinates of the turning point of the graph of y is equals to x squared minus 6x plus 4. Here we clearly know that this is your turning point in the middle. So what are the coordinates for this one? We can clearly see that this one's a 3 and this one's a minus 5. So we know for this question (3) and for this one it's a minus 5. So here we know that our coordinates would be 3 and minus 5. So that's what we're going to write here. And in the next one, use the graph to find estimates for the roots of x squared minus 6x plus 4 is equals to 0. So here we know that our answer will be around, the answer is around 0.8 and 5.2. Please let me know if you're not clear with this graph question as well. I'll try my best explaining it in another video, but please let me know in the comments first. So I'll make sure to make a video on it now. Okay, so the next question is question 25, second last question. Find the value of the reciprocal of 0.8. Now this is a super simple question, right? Find the value of the reciprocal of 0.8. So we know the reciprocal of 0.8 would simply be in an all calculator way. This would still be right though, so you can still write that if you want to, but the main method in a calculator paper, because they've asked you, it would basically be dividing 1 by 0.8, right? And that would give us an answer of, on a calculator, of 5 over 4, and that will be your answer. In the next one, it says that x is equals to 4700 correct to 2 significant places. Complete the error interval. So what we do is 4700, so we write the numbers. Let's say 4600, 4700, 4800. Here we know that our middle numbers for this one would be basically 4650. For this one it would be 4750. Therefore we know the error interval would be 4650 and 4750. Right? So I hope this question is clear with you guys. Please let me know again if you have any doubts. I'll make sure to make a video on specifically hard questions that people find in these past papers. So please let me know which ones you find, a little bit more confusing or toughest. And that's why I'll make another video on that one, so we can focus on particular problems, exam techniques, and also particular topics. The last question is, the population of a town increased by 9% between 2018 and 2019. The population in 2019 was 165,680. Calculate the population in 2018. Okay, so let's say in this one, we can basically say that the population increased by 9% in 2018 and 2019. So we can basically say that the total, because now it's 165,680, we can clearly say out of 100%, let's say 2018 was 100%. So it increased by 9. So let's say 100% plus 9, that would give us 109%. So when we write, so this is basically what we're saying is 109% is the new population in 2019. So let's write, so now if we start writing, we'll write 165,680 is equals to 109%. And to get it to 100%, That's what we need to do here to get to its original percentage, what it was before, which is in 2018. So what we need to do is bring it to a certain number where we can easily get to 100. So here we can see that we can get to 100 by only, I can only think of one way right now, which is basically getting into 1%, then getting to 100%. How do we do that? So when we get to 1%, we know that we need to divide this by 109 and divide this by 109. So by doing that, we divide this, which basically gives us 1520 is equals to 1%. And when we need to get to 100%, we simply multiply it by 100, multiply by 100, multiply by 100. So we clearly know that 152000 will be your population for 2018, and that is your answer. So your right answer of 152000, that's your population, and that's how you gain your 2 marks. The total marks for this paper again then was 80 marks. So this is how you would complete this paper. Now we're done with from questions 16 to 26, as we've skipped out 15th question. So I'll make sure to confirm that with you guys. We've confirmed that with you guys whether that will be a part of your exams upcoming. If it is, please let me know from your side as well in the comments if you guys have any idea about that. And if it is, I'll put the answer to that question with a discussion and technique in a form of a short, because it probably won't take so long because it's only one question. So please let me know, and I'll try making a video on that for the next one, and also another video for the topics you might be confused in or anything like that. So I hope you like this video, and please don't forget to like and subscribe, and always here to improve. Please let me know if there's anything else, and thank you so much.